What's up, guys? It's me, it's Colin Moriarty. Usually on Kinda Funny Reacts, we do a back and forth with multiple people. I wanted to write something about Metal Gear and Kojima, and I wanted to see what you guys thought of it. So we're going to do this all in one take. I'm going to probably stumble a little bit, but we want to know what you think of this format, and maybe we'll do more of them in the future. So forgive me for any mistakes I make a little later on. All right, here we go. With weeks-long drama surrounding Metal Gear Solid 5, and with much speculation about longtime Konami employee and gaming visionary Hideo Kojima's future involvement with the company, it should come as little surprise that the next domino is in the process of falling. Kojima's other project, Silent Hills, has officially been cancelled, with its ingenious demo, PT, being pulled from PlayStation Network, a sort of canary in the coal mine indicating that not all is well. Here's the thing though, many of us have been asking for years what's going on at Konami. Konami was one of gaming's behemoths 10, 20, even 30 years ago. Many of its franchises, especially Castlevania, Contra, and the aforementioned Metal Gear, helped shape the industry. But today, it's clear that Konami, at least as the traditional gaming entity we once knew and loved, is on life support. We've seen this similar situation play out with Keiji Inafune and Capcom. Capcom and Inafune parted ways some years ago. They canceled all of the Mega Man games in production, and here's the kicker that Konami should take note of. While Capcom has been on the decline since, Inafune has been on the rise. Konami relegated the man who helped evolve Castlevania into the mega-popular Metroidvania-style games we know and love, Koji Igarashi, to behind-the-scenes work, while giving the beloved franchise to a developer, Mercury Steam, that ultimately shat the bed. And now we see Konami seemingly trying to part ways with Kojima himself, a staggering turn of events that could spell doom for the company. Here's the thing, Konami needs Kojima way more than Kojima needs Konami. Hideo Kojima could walk up to any well-established and well-funded publisher, request a 100-person team, tens of millions of dollars, office space, and 4 years to get his hypothetical new game to market, and the likes of EA, Activision, Sony, Microsoft, Square Enix, and everyone else you can imagine would be falling all over each other to make it so. Kojima, in a post-Metal Gear Solid 5 and Silent Hills world, will be just fine. Konami, on the other hand, won't be fine, at least in the short term, and at least when it comes to the viability and reach of its gaming entity. Anyone who grew up with games like I did watched Konami slowly crumble into a shell of its former self. The company simply makes questionable decisions that leave even its most ardent supporters scratching their heads. The last Metroidvania game was an online multiplayer adventure, and they released a 2-hour prologue to the Phantom Pain and charged $40 for it. Does that sound like a company that has a grasp of the reality of the gaming market and what gamers want? Listen, Konami is way more than just a gaming company, as anyone who has been to Japan and seen its fitness clubs can attest. Konami even makes slot machines. They aren't, say, Electronic Arts, a company that exclusively exists in the traditional video game market. Surely there are people in the upper echelons of the company that are making decisions to protect the bottom line. Some astute observers even wondered if what Konami seems to be doing is ultimately smart. After all, the middle ground that erased THQ from the world continues to erode territory. Konami might have been looking into the abyss if it attempted to keep the status quo. Perhaps an evolution is necessary. Metal Gear is expensive to make, Kojima is expensive to retain, hiring the likes of Guillermo del Toro and Norman Reedus costs money. But it doesn't stop many of us from wondering just what's happening at Konami and how a company that once wielded such clout and might could today look so feeble and weak. Metal Gear, Castlevania, hell, even Dance Dance Revolution, these names really meant something. Metal Gear still does, but the purported removal of Kojima from the company he's worked at since the 1980s doesn't spell a bright future for Metal Gear or Konami. Ironically, it spells a bright, unshackled future for Kojima and his trusted team and colleagues, who he'll no doubt poach for whatever's next, but we'll leave that topic for another day. In the meantime, fear not, Silent Hills fans. It looks like Kojima will ultimately be free to do as he pleases. We might have lost Silent Hills, and Metal Gear Solid 5 might be the last Metal Gear game he has anything to do with, but as Konami swoons, something tells me Kojima will rise again. And that means while Konami loses, we as gamers will win anyway.